So Janelis Perez led all players in that game with 14 kills and had 4 of the team's 18 aces. So the Broncos are actually in a brand new division. It's the newly developed 5A District 6 division. And how are those standings looking?
The Broncos are 1-0. Lake Wells is 3-1. Auburndale is 2-1. Zephyr Hills is 1-1. Lake Region is 1-1. Pasco is 1-2. Gateway is 0-1. And Life Christian Academy has not played a game yet.
All right, we will pause for the national anthem. And we are back for the third matchup in history when it comes to volleyball between the Haines City Hornets and the Davenport Broncos. As we mentioned in our opening, Davenport is up 2-0 in the series. First one was on a forced forfeit. Then the second game last year, Davenport won in straight sets. So Davenport is going to look to get a measure of revenge after what happened in Haines City with that football game on Friday night, when the Hornets stunned the Broncos by a score of 38-0. And the Hive was absolutely alive this past Friday night. Broncos looking to remain perfect on the season, have a huge test this coming up Thursday, going against Christian Academy out of Lakeland. That game will be here Thursday night live from the ranch.
It's going to be a competitive game tonight.
And it is, and it's nice to see that the fans are once again coming out. You did expect this with a rivalry game with Haines City just being 10 miles down the road.
There's a great mix between Bronco fans and Hornet fans out there.
Broncos going ahead, pumping each other up as we get ready for the first serve in the first set. Referee is quickly going around making sure that everyone has a correct number and the number of matches on the scorecard. It's good to see Captain Cologne back in the starting lineup for the Broncos. She didn't come into the game until the third set in Thursday's win. So Hornets will go ahead. They will take the serve to begin the first set. Cologne checks in. Hernandez will take a rest, and the crowd absolutely coming to their feet as the JV team getting the ranch all fired up. First set is away, and we are underway at 7:53, and a quick ace for the Hornets, up 1-0. And just like that, the serving from Rivera is putting the Hornets up 2-0.
Broncos take a point off a bad serve. It is 1-2.
One thing the Broncos need to do is slow it down, play at their own pace. That's where they started to run into trouble against Sebring when they tried to play at a faster tempo. And in that case, it's a Naimier Hernandez. You had the perfect setup right there by Manger. She had Sarah to her left. She had Katie to the right. And Katie was the one that slammed that home, and we are tied up at 2 apiece.
Love the emotion coming out of the fans tonight. The Broncos take a 3-2 lead.
This is one thing we saw last year out of both Captain Colon and Perez. When they get into this groove, when they are serving, it is hard for them to give that ball back on the other side.
Off a nice spike from Amanda
Manger.
Manger.
And it's just the way that Cologne is now even to get this almost reverse spin on the serve as it's coming out. Ball isn't able to clear the net. Hornets point. Broncos on top 4-3 here in our first set.
Doesn't clear the net on that spike from the Hornets.
A great heads-up play there by Manger as the ball started to go out of bounds, and she made sure that she didn't give up on the play. Keep going toward that sideline, go past the Broncos bench, and get that ball back into play.
Autumn Moore will serve. Great effort from both teams right now. The Broncos tack on another point to take a 6-3 lead.
As Manger slammed that home, Garvin was not able to get the ball over the net. And this is typical Broncos. Start putting up points, and now they are absolutely just taking their time on the serve, playing at their own pace. And there's a fantastic ace.
Oh. Another ace from Autumn Moore tonight. Just 2?
Yep, 2 straight. So the Broncos are definitely going on all cylinders here, now up 9-3.
Great spike from Amanda Monet.
Manger able to just get that kill on the board, and we will have our first timeout as Haines City calling that timeout. An 8 and huge timeout there for Haines City, trying to get this game back under wraps after the Broncos have now scored 6 unanswered points.
The Broncos with all the momentum tonight.
So if you're Coach Hoffman for the Hornets, what might you be telling your club to try to get them to slow down a little bit and try to get back into this game?
Just take your time. Take your time on the serves. Get what you want.
And if you're the flip side for the Broncos, you have the Miller combination.
I'll keep doing what we're doing. It's working.
Trying to keep them in that game.
The Broncos have all the momentum tonight. Great to see it. Miscommunication. The Broncos take an 11-3 lead in the first set.
The Broncos are definitely setting that tempo. They are making the Hornets play their game. Serve just goes a little long. It'll now be 11-4. It looks like Hill will take the serve for the Hornets. And that'll be 4 touches, so that'll be a point for the Hornets. It is now 11-5. And what an excuse me shot there by Katie Hernandez. Just went ahead. I'm just going to tip this where there are no Hornets. And now not to be outdone by her sister, Hernandez again slamming that one home. 13-5 in Aiden. The Broncos are flying on all cylinders tonight.
Great game coming along. Broncos taking an 8-point lead.
Just like that, up to a 9-point lead as Monge almost taking a page out of Cologne's book, getting some spin on that serve. As we saw, it went right off of Hill. Hill expected it to go up, and the ball went down and to the left.
Just out on that one. Is it out?
So Haines City is trying to argue that it went long. Original call was a point for Davenport, and that is how it will go, 15-5. So yet another ace for the Bronco early on here in the first set.
10-point lead in the first set. The Broncos are pulling away. Just like that, a great spike from Moore, I think. As the Broncos take a 16-5 lead in this first set.
6 unanswered points now for the Broncos. And that one to go very long, no doubt about that one. Point for the Hornets. It's now 16-6.
Great spike
by Perez, and even the way that was even set up, the entire crowd, myself included, thought, hey, it's going to go to Hernandez. She has been the one that has been driving all of those kills tonight. And instead, and we're going to have an overrule at that point going to the Hornets. We'll have to go ahead and get clarification on that one, but 16-7 point going to the Hornets. So it might have been a net violation. And an ace for the Hornets. It is now 16-8. And we are getting clarification. It was a net violation that was called.
Great spike from Perez.
Perez, no doubt about that one from Perez. Making sure she was far enough away from the net to make sure that point came home. Katie Hernandez will go ahead. She will take this service game. As we have a quick discussion with our officials and our official scorers.
The crowd is bringing the energy tonight, keeping the Broncos on momentum.
As you have a moment, your upcoming Broncos schedule Thursday game here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network will be against Lakeland Christian Academy. Lakeland Christian Academy currently is 4-0. This Friday night, the Broncos will look for revenge as the football team goes against Tenorock. You may remember the first home football game in Broncos history last year where Tenorock won that game in overtime. So the Broncos looking to play spoiler and try to get a win back in Tenorock this Friday night. Kickoff will be at 7:30.
Close rivalry game tonight with Haines City, as the JV team tries to bring more energy to the crowd.
One thing we said a lot last year when these two teams faced off, and even against Ridge, so many of these girls played with each other before Davenport High School was a school, so these teams know each other so very well.
Broncos as they take a 10-point lead. It is now 18-8.
Monge with that kill. Again, it sounds easy. Go ahead and hit the ball where the players aren't. But anyone that has played volleyball knows it's not that easy, but the Broncos are indeed making it look that easy tonight so far.
Add one more to that. It is 19-8 Broncos. For the Hornets, it is now 19-9.
Hernandez will go ahead. She will take a rest, and Captain Cologne coming back in for the Broncos. Broncos unable to return that serve. It is now 19-10.
Broncos still have all the momentum going their way, as Haines City tries to mount a 9-point comeback as of right now. Add one more for Haines City. It's 11-19.
That's just brutal whenever you got a ball to just clip the net like that, because it's able to slow it down and that ball just dies. As we saw Cologne diving and she came up short because of the ball going into the net.
Great spike from Perez. Sanchez will serve. Add one more for the Broncos. It is 21-11 in this first set.
One thing the Broncos did improve upon is their serving game. Last year there were only 2 or 3 girls that could serve, but we've seen new ones pop out this year. Sanchez looked good. Monge looked good. And there's another point on a service game for Sanchez as it's now 22-11. Last year, really, it was just Perez, Colon, and the Hernandez sisters. But at least tonight, everyone that has gone behind that service line has had some great serves. And there's another one that can't be returned, 23-11.
Great serve game coming out of both teams tonight, but the Broncos. Another great serve from Sanchez as the Broncos take a 24-11 lead in this first set.
It's one of those based on how high it was. You wonder if Rivera didn't touch it, if the ball would have gone in. So Broncos will be serving to win the first set. Sanchez dribbling the ball countless times, spin. Here comes the serve.
A great spike.
And who else but Perez would go ahead and take that down. Broncos take the first set by a score of 25-11. And Perez has absolutely been that Hornets killer. As we talked about last year, Perez led all scorers with 14 kills, and she had 4 of the team's 18 aces. Broncos have had a number of aces. Perez did have 2 of them, and Perez already with 4 kills on the game tonight. So the Broncos are running on all cylinders. So go ahead, we will take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the second set here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network. As we get ready for the second set, Broncos took the first set by a score of 25-11, and it was all Broncos all the time. Haines City did come out scoring the first 2 points, and then Broncos just come out with a house of fire. Next thing you know, it's 11-3. Next thing you know, it's 19-11, ending up with that first set 25-11. So wait, and I'm assuming if you were both Coach Millers, you were telling your team to have that exact same intensity to begin the second set.
Keep the momentum. Keep the momentum from last set, bring it over to this set.
And one thing, momentum can carry over from game to game. when you are going against one of the better teams in the state on Thursday night. Start getting all of that momentum now. And it is good to see, as you mentioned in that first set, how much of this crowd is here tonight. The Broncos coming out to support their Lady Broncos.
Always love to see the home team, the home crowd. I feel like the crowd is helping keep the momentum for the Lady Broncos tonight.
And it was once or twice where it seemed like momentum was starting to go a little bit toward Haines City. And you're right, the crowd just brought the Broncos right back into it. So Captain Cologne will go ahead. She will take the first service game here of the second set. And great defense there being played by the Hornets. It's put in a position where Hernandez could not get it back over the net.
Another point for the Hornets as they take a 2-0 lead.
Almost a little deja vu from that first set.
Great effort by Moore. Moore on the play? Yeah. She will serve. Moore will serve.
It's amazing how often that happens. You make a great play to get the service back and you end up serving. Once again, we have that same situation where the Hornets are able to get that serve. In this case, it was Blanco, is able to get it to touch the net as it goes over, slows the ball down.
Great effort by both teams tonight. As the Broncos take a point. It is now 4-2. Haines City still leads. Haines City's out. It is now 5-2. As they take a timeout.
And definitely a well-timed timeout by Coach Miller. Starting to see Haines City come out, getting momentum here in the second set. Could be a point where the Broncos, when we saw what they did in that first set, maybe not taking Haines City as seriously as they should have in the second set. And Haines City, once they're starting to go, they're starting to get this tempo and they're playing faster and faster and faster. And traditionally, we have seen Coach Miller's team, they like to slow it down, and they play better at a slower tempo. As Hill getting ready to serve it away for the Hornets.
Crowd trying to get some energy going, bring the momentum back to the Broncos. The net slowing the ball again.
That has been one thing that is driving the Broncos batty. That one's not able to get through the net, so the Broncos will get the ball back. Broncos talking amongst themselves, trying to figure out whose serve it is, and it will go to Hernandez. While the roll will check in, and Cologne will take a quick rest.
Great spike.
Awesome spike, awesome kill there by Perez. This is where you do have that veteran leadership. Last year, the Broncos didn't have any seniors. They do this year, and one of them being Katie Hernandez. Getting those great serves in.
As you mentioned, seniors, I feel like that's going to be something that's going to lead a lot of the teams this year, as we didn't have any seniors on the football team last year. Ridley, he left, but most of the juniors that played last year came back to bring that veteran leadership.
And when in doubt, just spike the ball right out of Hornet. Broncos trailing 6-7 here in the second set. Broncos leading this one overall by a score of 1-0.
Sanchez will take the serve right now. Great serve. Great.
Lucky sevens across, 7-7. And when Sanchez was serving in that first set, that's really when the Broncos started to take momentum, when they scored 8 unanswered points.
Another great serve from Broncos, as the Hornets are not able to bring that ball up, as the Broncos take an 8-7 lead. A little too much on that one, as the Hornets tie it 8-8.
It's a brand new game, 8-8. We are even Steven.
Great kill from Perez.
And again, she continues to be that Hornet killer. As Monge will go ahead, she will check into the game.
And Perez will take that kill and also take the serve.
And there's an ace.
Broncos take a 10-8 lead.
One thing about that game against Sebring, Perez was pressing a little bit, trying to go at a faster tempo. It's good to see tonight that she is slowing it down. Because when Perez gets on a roll, forget it. Mainly remembering the playoff game against Discovery, where Perez had 4 straight aces, and during that service game, the Broncos came up with 10 points.
Ooh, another ace from Perez. Did she have 4 for the day?
Yeah. And you see the Broncos bench getting into it, and just like that, the Hornets have to call a timeout, trying to take some momentum away from Perez. So what a picture-perfect time to call that timeout, especially after an ace, because now you can regroup, you can talk to your team. But now Perez is going to lose a little bit of momentum, because even though she is slow in the tempo, she would love to be able to serve that ball right away. Broncos wasting no time breaking that huddle. So if you are new to high school volleyball, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network. At the varsity level, it is a best 3 out of 5 sets. You play to 25 points. If you go into a fifth and deciding set, it will go to 15 points. We did see that happen with our Lady Broncos a few times last year. Mainly the volleyball game of the year here against Celebration, where the Broncos came back after being down 2-0. Perez ready to serve it away. The timeout did nothing to stifle her momentum, 13-8.
Great serving come out of Perez tonight.
So there's an old analogy in baseball that when you're hitting well, the baseball almost looks like a beach ball. For Perez right now, all of this open territory almost looks like acres to her. She is just able to pinpoint this volleyball in.
Broncos up 15-8. All the momentum is on them.
And nothing too fancy there. The Broncos just tipped it to the other side of the net. Let the Hornets play it.
Perez will come out and Feliz will come in.
Garvin will go ahead. She will take the serve for the Hornets. Broncos fans getting into it.
Ooh, a great kill from...
And Katie Hernandez, she will go ahead. She will check back in. And here comes Captain Cologne's service game. Broncos fail to get it over the net, 16-10. After some discussion, Rivera takes the ball behind the line for the Hornets. Moore will go ahead. She will check in. Sarah Hernandez will take a rest. Moore checks in and she will instantly serve it away. Great spike there by Katie Hernandez. Broncos now up 18-10. And Broncos doing an excellent job with this teamwork, calling their shots, making sure everyone knows who is going after that ball.
Ooh, great kill from
Manger. Broncos now extending their lead to 19-10 here in the second set. Broncos up already, 1-0. Oh, Hernandez, that was a thing of beauty.
Broncos take a 10-point lead. It is now 20-10. All the momentum shifting for the Broncos. Ooh, great ace from Perez. Or was that more?
That's still more service game.
My bad.
You were good. But she's almost serving like Perez the way that she's getting that spin going.
The ball not able to clear the net on that one. The Broncos add one. More. Take a 22-10 lead.
So in that case, the net giveth, the net taketh away.
Great effort from the Broncos, though, on that one, as the Hornets add one more to make it 12-22.
Serve going off of Cologne. That one will go out 22-13. As Blanco continues her service game.
That one does not clear the net, giving the Broncos 23 and making it 23-13. I mean, giving the Broncos one to make it 23-13.
Perez will check back in. Felice will go ahead and take a rest. Manger coming up with the serve for the Broncos. Into the net it goes, 23-14. Hornets getting the serve back. Looks like it'll go to Hill. Guerra will check back in. Manger will take a rest.
Just out on that one. Giving the Broncos another one, making it 24-14. Broncos hoping to close it out on this one.
Hernandez will serve for the second set.
Broncos do win the second set of the night.
What an awesome tip there by Sanchez, just going ahead making sure it goes up. So after two sets, the Broncos are up 2-0. They took the first set 25-11, second set 25-14. We'll be right back here for the third set here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network. Broncos getting ready for this third set, up 2-0 over the Haines City Hornets. Broncos took the first set by a score of 25-11, took that second set 25-14. So far what we have noticed is the Hornets are coming out and getting the first few points of the set. We saw that in the first game where they got the first two. This one, they got 3 of the first 4 points. So Broncos looking to go ahead and just put the scoring away right away.
Looking to end the game on this set.
And the Hornets, that is Rivera getting that ball over. Hornets now up 1-0 here in the third set. Again, Hornets, they do have momentum at the beginning of each set, but the Broncos able to just snuff it out early. And Monge looks like she's had enough. It's 1-1. Sanchez with a great serve that was unable to be returned. Broncos up 2-1. And that'll be 4 hits, point for the Broncos. Broncos now up 3-1. Again, you're seeing Sanchez just taking her time after that whistle, waiting to serve until she's ready. And look at that ace, 4-1.
That's her 4th of the night? 4th ace of the night?
I believe so, 4th or 5th. She has looked great.
She's been deadly out there. Absolutely killing these Hornets.
And that one would have gone out of bounds, but tipped off of the Hornets. And that's one thing that we saw in that first set. We saw it a little bit in the second set, that when Sanchez was behind the line, momentum clearly swinging the way of the Broncos. Broncos now with 4 unanswered points. And another serve that cannot be returned, 6-1 Broncos. One thing you do like to see as you look out, how many of these fans have stayed the entire time? Fans young and old have come out.
Support your team. Cannot be returned as the Broncos take an 8-1 lead.
Momentum clearly wearing that white jersey. They're going to call that a net violation, so point for the Hornets. It's now 8-2. And Hornets confused as they went ahead and rolled the ball right over to the Broncos. Broncos unable to return Rivera's serve. It is now 8-3.
clear the net on that one, giving the Broncos a point, making it 9-3. Broncos retain the ball, and Hernandez will take the serve. Hornets unable to return the ball to the Broncos. Return the serve.
Sarah Hernandez is another one of those with tunnel vision. When she gets going on a service game, she can pinpoint her serves. And into the net, that one goes 10-4. Manger with the nice kill there, 11-4 Broncos.
Ball unable to clear the net on that one again.
Captain Cologne with the serve.
The Hornets unable to return that serve.
Point for the Hornets. It is now 13-5. In correction, we were saying that was Cologne serving. That was actually more for the Broncos. As Manger can't get it up and over, it is now 13-6. As Moore is taken over as the libero for the Broncos for this game. Hornets trying to gain some momentum, now trailing 13-7 here in the third set. And point for the Broncos. Broncos now up 14-7. Sangara will come in. Leroy will go ahead and will take a rest. Sangara to serve. Just goes a little long. Hornets point 14-8.
Unable to clear the net on that serve.
And now Manger with the serve. Right into the net, so it is now 15-9. Quick substitution as Felice comes in. Manger will take a rest for the Broncos. So Broncos keeping everything fresh. What a spike there by Sarah Hernandez, 16-9.
Moore coming out with Brown coming in.
That'll be a point for the Hornets, 16-10. Rivera will go ahead and she will serve it away. Right into the net, Broncos point, 17-10. Sanchez to serve it away for the Broncos. (18-10). How often tonight have we called Sanchez's name with an incredible service game? Roy will come in and Ungara will go ahead. She will take a rest. And they are going to call a net violation on Leroy to give the point to the Hornets, 18-11. Blanca will go ahead. She will serve it away. Point for the Hornets, 18-12. Coach Miller instantly going out there to calm down Leroy. (18-13) as Blanco continues to serve. Hornets can't get it over the net. Point for the Broncos. Manger will go ahead. She will check back in. Felice will take a rest. Hernandez, rather, to serve it away. And a great kill there by the Hornets, 19-14. As Hill will go ahead and she will take the serve. So the Hornets are definitely showing their passion throughout this game, playing every point. And that one will land out of bounds. Point for the Bronco, 20-14.
Moore will take the serve.
That'll be a net violation for the Hornets, 21-14. Broncos getting caught up in the net there, 21-15. And a ton of power on that spike there by Hernandez. Unreturnable, 22-15.
Leroy will take the serve.
And Angara will go ahead. She will check back into the game. Reyes to serve it away for the Hornets. Hornets able to find that open space of court, 22-17. Most points now the Hornets have scored in any set this season. And that one ricochet is out of bounds. Broncos now on top, 23-17. It was the most they have scored in the season. They did actually win a set against Auburndale last night. As Manger takes the ball. Slowing it down, dribbles and her serve. And the Broncos will go ahead. They will serve for the match. Up 24-17. And Manger will drill it into the net, 24-18. So it all comes down to Garvin's serves. Can she keep the Hornets in it? Manger spikes that right into the net, 24-19. Goes into the net, and the Broncos take the third and deciding set by a score of 25-19. So Aiden, what did you like out of the Broncos tonight?
You know, I like that they were firing on all cylinders all night. They had the momentum. They lost it at the beginning of this set, but they gained it back quickly.
So Broncos end up taking this 3-0, winning the first set 25-11, second set 25-14, third set 25-19. Join us on Thursday night as Lakeland Christian Academy, 4-0 Lakeland Christian Academy, come into town to go against your 2-0 Davenport Broncos. Your executive producers of the Broncos Broadcasting Network are myself, John Shigaris, Mel Gables, and Alan Duget. We ask that if you haven't already to go ahead, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Broncos Broadcasting Network. For my partner,
Aiden Boyer,
I'm John Shigaris. We will see you next time from the ranch, from Davenport, everyone. Good night.